Good morning. Or I shouldn't say it's afternoon, right? Keep on thinking I made it in time, but I didn't. I slid just under the radar coming into noontime, so there you go. So you saw the cards he made last week, and today we're making this fun fold right here. See if you can see it, right? So we're going to make this. It's very fun, and it's very easy to do, and that's what I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you how I did it, all right? So let's go to the hands. Let's do this, right? It's Wednesday. We made it halfway through the week. That's right. And so now, right, we're going to finish the week up, finish this off. So this is the last thing I'm making in the free kit to go. These are the 4 I made last week, and my husband really liked this one. So I took it and I expanded upon it this week. All right, that was his favorite out of all 4. So we each all have our favorites. So you have to let me know, right? Let me know which is your favorite. All right, let me know which is your favorite out of these 4 from last week, and I'll send you one of them. How about that? All right, but you have to let me know which one's your favorite. So take a look real quick. You can say number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. It doesn't matter. Whichever is your favorite, I'll send it to you. Okay? So there you go. That's a task for you today. Let me know which one's your favorite. 1, 2, 3, or 4. All right, here's what we're making right now. It's a fun fold, and actually I was inspired. I have an aunt, a 90-year-old aunt is in the hospital right now. And this is what it's going to look like, right? Stands up. It's a Z fold, right? Just a nice fun fold. But we really expanded on what we did, like here. And she is such a wonder. And she is a beacon of light. And she's refreshing and all that kind of good stuff. So let me show you what we've done and how we got there, okay? So first of all, I did everything, especially when you see this piece right here. This, I made it all continuous. And I'll show you, here it is right here. And what I did to make this happen, this is actually Secret C. So I left it in one piece. This is scored, and we've already got scored lines, and I'll show you. But we sat there, and I took it, and all I did is, this is 4 1/4 by 11, right? Because that's how this is. This right here is 5 1/2 by 11. So I really didn't want to cut up the trees. I could have, right? But I thought, how cool would it be just to have the trees continuously when the card stands up? They see all that, the wonder and everything. So what I did is I just took this. So this is 4 1/4. And I just made sure the tip of the trees are at the top edge of the paper. All right? So let's think of this as the top edge of the paper, 4 1/4. I just made sure it's at the top edge when I cut this. Because remember from last week, this paper does not cut the bottom, right? It just cuts the top. And you'll feel down there, and you can see how there's an edge there to cut, but there's no edge to cut here. So that's why you have to know about the height of what you want. If you did it too high, then just come and cut off the bottom, right? And you're going to see I did that in a minute with the white. We'll see if it works or not. And if it doesn't, then that's exactly what we'll do. All right, so that's one piece. The other piece right here, and this has not been scored, because I didn't score either of these, because all I'm going to do is glue it down to the base and work it from there, okay? Now, I did go ahead, and on this one, and I'm going to do it now too, I went ahead and scored it right here, and I didn't really want to, but I've got to have an idea of where I'm going to stamp. Now, the only other option I have would be, I could do this. I could do it with a pencil, right? So I just need to know my parameters. And so this is actually 3, and here's we go. I got it right here. So the base is Blackberry Bliss, 5 1/2 by 11, and I scored it at 3 6 1/4, and that was it, right? So then on the white, I could do it at 3 inches and 6 inches. So I really need, for me, I don't know about you, but I really need something to guide me. I was going to say that pencil needs to be sharpened. Okay. I need something to guide me. So the thing is, I could do this. Here's another option, right? Because I really didn't want to see the scored line. So the other option would be is just take your pencil, because it can be erased, right? And do it right there too. And the other one's going to be, I know it, I already know it's 4 1/4 from the other end. So I'm just going to flip that around and do that because I can. All right, so I'm just using my grid here to mark that off. So all I'm doing then, this one I actually scored it. This one I actually am at least just doing just little pencil marks, right? So I can see where I'm going to stamp my edges. So I'm still going to do this. I put embrace the magic, embrace the light. You are a wonder. And she is. She's an amazing wonder. All right, so let's go ahead and we're going to stamp. So this is a little early in the game that we would normally stamp. And we're actually, so in this one here, I used a sponge to apply some balmy blue. But what I wanted to do this time, just do a little bit different. I'm going to actually flick balmy blue on this right here, and then we're going to stamp. We can stamp, do it after we stamp. The other thing, let's see if you can see it. I actually also flicked Twink of Stella. I don't know if you can capture it really too much. So we're still going to do that too, right? But I did that at the end. So right now we're just going to go ahead and get the word stamped on here. I'm going to do embrace the magic. I've got embrace the wonder. In fact, I got the wonder still on here. So we're just going to do the wonder. It doesn't matter, right? Anyway you go, the words are going to get on here. It's just a matter if you do it at the front, if you do it first, or if you do it last, right? So we're doing ours first. And if you leave a comment, I'll try to get to it. I'm trying to, right now, see if I can see, because I forgot to make sure I turn my phone off. Everything else so I don't interrupt. All right. Okay, so if you, I'll try to see if I can make a comment if you do a comment there. But definitely always, your input's always good too. All right, so I've got this right here. I'm just going to go ahead and stamp it right now. Like I said, because I can. And because I wanted to show you how to do that. And I'm just going to center it, right? So I'm trying to center it mainly between the edge of the paper and here. All right, because I want to leave enough room so I can put the extra little comments on top, all right? Because you need a little bit of room for that. Let me clean this off and we get the light on here and the magic. So I got the big words on first, right? Trying to get them as close as I can to the bottom, because that's what's going to allow me to have the room that I need to do the words on top, or any bling, right? So if you want bling as well. So you can see so we got several different sayings here, right? So I did wonder, embrace the light, embrace the magic. So the others I already have on. I'll have to swap out the words like light and magic. So wonder is pretty wide, so you can see that it centers up really nicely on this right here. Because that's, keep in mind, that's right, that's 4 1/4 wide in that section. This one's going to be, I think it's 3 3/4. Yeah. So again, I'm just going to get, so I'm not like measuring out or anything. I'm just trying to get it centered as best I can, right? I'm not a machine. Let's see. So that's one thing when we create cards, right? We're not a machine. All right, then I'm going to come over here. We're going to use those in just a second. All right, we'll clean this off and we'll get the last one on here, embrace the magic. So I think this has got some really very inspirational, right? Just like the Aurora Borealis is very inspirational and magical to me. I think the words here are very nice and magical. So the thing is, just to let you know, these are currently on last chance. The paper isn't, but the stamp set I know is for sure. I was thinking that the dies isn't either, because, right, because you can use the trees for a lot of different things. Outdoor things, a lot of inspiration. Now see, I didn't get this one quite on like I wanted it. I can come back and correct that with something else, and I'll do that. But right now I'm not going to worry about it, because normally I would just flip this over, but I can't do that with this because, right, because I've got this all cut at the top. And if I'd done it individually by page, I could have, but I didn't do that. So it's okay. The world didn't end. The sun's still up, right? Okay, then I have here, she is a wonder. So we're going to first get embrace. So I just try to center it as close as I could. This one here, I'm going to go ahead and center above the magic itself. Put embrace the magic. And then we're going to put embrace the light. We're going to center it as well too. And then I'm going to do down here, you are a wonder. Right? We have people in our lives that are a wonder. And we need to let them know it, right? Doesn't matter if it's Christmas time, birthday time, or just because. Right? It's okay to do things just because. Alright, so we got this here, and I'm going to clean this off just so I don't get purple all over me. Actually, it's not purple, it's Blackberry Bliss. Yes, we can get that cleaned off because actually I got ink all over me earlier. Alright, so we have this. So we're going to go ahead, I'm going to go ahead and do the blue on this right now, just so I have it out of the way and done. So I'm going to give them a piece of paper. And so I'm just going to take it with my bone folder, and I'm going to take the blue. So like I said, I sponged the first one, I sponged with Balmy Blue ink. So if you like that, then I would tell you to use the sponge. And the sponge is just one that was in a paper pumpkin kit that I quartered a couple of years ago, right? So that's all I use. I just used a sponge like that. All right, let's get this flipped on here. So I'm going to start out with the light blue, right? If you're not sure, and let me get these marks off too. If you're not sure, then go light. And then if you want to add darker, right? I'd rather, right? Because if the light's all you need and want, then you can stop. If it's not, and it's not doing the trick that you wanted it to do, then go for darker, right? Okay, so I'm just going to tilt this sideways, and I'm just going to put this on here and see if that's what I want. And I'm seeing it, but it is definitely light, right? So, yeah, I can see where it's got it sprung. You mostly can't see it because it's very light here. And I've got lights on it. Right, so I'm not trying to make it super dark, but let's flip it over and I'll show you. Let's see what the darker color looks like, okay? Now this one we can flip over, right? So this is a darker color. And see what you think of a darker color. See, now I can tell you right now, I mean, I'm going to see a little bit darker, right? I just can't necessarily see enough difference. I mean, maybe I don't know. You'll have to see if you can see it, right? So you can definitely see the splatter there. And you can see it there. It's definitely a little bit lighter, right? This one's a little bit darker, but I don't know that it's really noticeably different one way or the other. So I'm just going to go ahead with the darker one because it'll add just a little bit more. It's all about what do you want, who you giving it to, right? Because they're the ones that are inspiring you. And this is Aunt that let me do sewing at midnight at her house when I was like 10, 11, and 12 years old. So, right? So she put up with my shenanigans. Yeah. All right. So it's just got a subtle amount, right? It's just enough to where it just doesn't look just straight white. Okay. So let me put that aside, and then now we're going to start building the card. So when I did the white, let me show you this also. When I did the white, as you're going to see on the when it goes to here, which we actually could put it on now too. I just moved this, right? Okay, so what I did is, like this here, you can see it. I just curved, this curves, right? It does just like the trees. It doesn't, you're putting your paper wherever you want it, so it'll cut the curve. So I did this, but instead of doing this again, the first time I did this, it really caused a point, and I didn't want the point. I'll show you that in a second where it did that. So I just butted this up to here, so I just flipped it over, right? So it would look nice. So this one here, see, it's got like a little point. It's because I had it flipped over the other way the first time. So what I did this time when I did it, I just flipped it upside down the other way. Oops. And that's what it came out with, right? So if I want to, I'm just going to trim that just a smidgen here. So it's just where the two of them join. You know, I try to get them close as I could together. Just don't want to like point out there. All right, so let's go ahead and put this down. And what I did is I put just the bottom portion down with glue. And the reason is originally I thought I was going to, if fact, it was easier to do it on here. Originally, I thought I was going to do ribbon at the top like I did a single card, but it was too, I don't know, right? I'm trying to recreate something I did last week. Was like, couldn't go there. Wouldn't even get there. It's amazing that I was managed to do it last week and to solve something that wasn't the way I designed it, but it worked, right? So try to replicate it, and it's like I couldn't make that happen. Tried, but it didn't. So this is where we end up right here. Okay. Now it looks plain, but you know we got to put bling. We got to put paper behind it. So I'm just gonna set this aside, and I didn't score anything, right? I didn't score anything. You're gonna see. I'm gonna do that in a minute. All right. So here's our 5.5 by 11 paper, right here. And so this is actually the back side. I had just folded it up. So we're going to create a mountain if you want to, right? Here's our mountain. Here's our valley. Mountain valley is what we're doing to get our fold. And then we're just going to get our cardstock on here. I just did the cardstock first. So if you're not sure, just lay it out, right? So it's just leaving the sides like I originally did. And I can easily do this with tear and tape not tear and tape, my tape runner, as I can anything else. So yes, the measurements are right here. So actually the first panel I'm using 2 3/4 by 5.5 Pretty in Pink paper. So the Pretty in Pink is what really helps to make this Blackberry Bliss pop, right? And it's going to make that paper really pop because it's going to pick the colors up in it. And do the same thing here. And then when we get to our DSP in just a moment, I'll show you how I cut that. Because, right, it takes more than 6 inches. So the paper's 6 by 6. So I had to, cut it a little bit differently to get what I want it to look like. And I'll show you that. So it's like anything else, right? It's what do you want it to look like. So if you're sewing, right, you want to know what it looks like. If you're cooking, you want to know and have an idea what it's going to look like. So the same thing here, right? It's what kind of look do you want? And so you just make adjustments accordingly. So that's what I did, and I'm going to show you that. All right, I'm going to put that down right there. Okay, and if you need to trim any of it, right, just flip it over. You can use your scissors. You can use your trimmer. Since this is only just a smidgen down here, I would just use my scissors, right? It's a sliver. Would do more harm than good if I use my paper trimmer. Alright, so I got that little smidgen there off. Okay, so here is the DSP. So I actually cut this down to 5.5, right? It's a 6 by 6. So these two pieces made the 6 by 6 with 1/4 inch off, and you can tell that, right? Hello. Oh. I know. We're gonna make it happen one of these times, Sharon. For sure. Okay, so I'm gonna do this right here. Now this, you can see that this was not. I had to use another piece, right? But I trimmed it from the. So I trimmed it. Let's see if it's which one's here. I brought all the pieces so we could sort of see. No, that's not it either. Now, what color on your back? Green? Well, maybe, but I don't think so. Well, yes, it is. Okay, see, I took a 1/2 inch off the top, right? Because I wanted this to look like it continued with it, but it wasn't the same piece of paper. So what I did is whereas this was cut from left to right, on this one I cut from right to left. So that looked like I had a continuous flow, but I really wasn't the original picture. Okay, so I just maneuvered it a little bit, right, to make it look like I wanted it to look. So that's all you got to do, and just, the thing is where you glue it down, right, or adhere it down, is just make sure it's got the flow and the pattern of what you want, and that's all I was looking for, right? I wanted it to look like it was continuous, because, my aunt's in the hospital. She fell and broke her hip. So I want to make a card for her, and I'm not sure when she's gonna, get out or get through with therapy. Right, she's got to do physical therapy and all. They're not gonna let her go home until she can get around. So I wanted to send her something that's going to inspire her. Hopefully bring light to her eyes, knowing that, right? She's just there until she can get up and walk on her own. So, right, it is the holiday season. We do a lot of holiday cards. This can easily be a holiday card. I did that last week. But today, I need an inspiration card. I need to take the beautiful sky. Because, right, I doubt she's even seeing that from, yeah, she can't see that from her room. So, there, we're going to bring it to her. All right, and we've never seen the Aurora Borealis anyway with our own two eyes, and neither has she, so we'll just be the best thing. All right, so I'm just going to lay this flat across here. I'm going to adhere it down. It is beautiful paper, and I hope you got some. You got free shipping right now for the next couple of days, but so this isn't, as far as I know and can tell, this is going to be around even as they retire the stamp set, which I think the stamp set is beautiful too. The dies, it didn't look like they were retired. It's not on last chance. So that's the thing about trees, right? You can do trees on so many things. So I don't know. I'm not in the know. I'm just to let you know what I do know. All right. So here, I'm just going to put this down right here. All right. And see, I've got this right here. So I'm going to give it a moment to dry. It doesn't need a whole lot. Just want to make sure I got it down about as best I can. And if I needed to trim anything, I would have to trim this one a little. Again, just going to take my paper snips here. And I didn't even look to see if it was too tall or not. So if it's too tall and you want the height, you want to see more of the trees, then what you would do is just trim from the bottom, right? So if this was too much white and I wanted it lower, right, I would have just taken and I would have cut it off the edge down here. But this right here is, the white is right 1 3/4 by 11. All right, so we've got this already. So all I'm going to do is fold on the original scored lines, and you can use your bone folder to help get this crease a little bit better. The stamp set is Light and Wonder. Here it is right here. I love it. Light and Wonder, and actually this is on last chance right now. So if you were going to get the bundle, it's not going to make a difference in cost and bundle. If you just buy one with the stamp by itself, then the stamp is on sale. But the bundle's not on sale, and it doesn't matter. The cost of the stamp set and you get the dies, it would be the same cost as the bundle. All right, so here it is right now. So all I did, instead of scoring this, which, it would have been a line, and, I had to line up 3 different lines. I wasn't going to do that. It was just easier, right, to do this what I did right here. Now, we are going to flick it with Wink of Stella, and we are going to tie a bow around it, all right? So let me get my sheet of paper back again. Let's get some Wink of Stella on here. Now, the key to the Wink of Stella, right, is you want to make sure you've got enough liquid in here, okay? So if you're not sure, you can see some liquid down there. So we'll see if I've got enough down in there. If not, I'll have to squeeze some, but you want to squeeze it so that you do not cause drops of it on your paper, okay? I've done that before. So I'm just going to do like this, just like I was the other. We do this at the retreats also, in classes. It's, it's just techniques, right? It's what do you want and how can you get there? All right, so as I put this aside, okay, I'm not getting as much splatter as I did earlier, so I'm just going to squeeze it. You can see it coming down. Make sure I look on all sides so you can see how that's coming down there. And I'm just going to squeeze a little bit more. Yeah, I'd be careful, right? Because I have done this. Yeah, there you go. You can see it coming. Okay, there we go. Let's do it again. Oh, yeah. So you can see the difference. And I'll show you. Nice thing about Wink of Stella, you can do as much or as little as you want. So, like I've done this right now, and I think when I get off of live, I may say, you know what, I want some more Wink of Stella. It's okay, go put some more Wink of Stella on it, because all it does is looks like fine sprinkling pixie dust is all it looks like, okay? All right, so all we're going to do now is we're going to put our bling on here, tie our ribbon, and we've got our card. So you can see it's not really that hard if I unfold it all. It's more, taking time to explain. So I mixed these colors up too. I actually put some on every page, different colors, because I like them, and they're so light, right? So unless you've got them against a white piece of paper or something like that, it's really hard to tell they're different colors. But I just wanted to pick up the color on every page that I did here, right? So I'll give my aunt something to think about. It's like, am I seeing things? Is this what color is this? I know blue's her favorite color, so I already know that. But then I also know her daughter's favorite color is purple. So there you go. Secrets of the family. All right, so I did put 5 on here. Yes. And then when I came to here, then I just switched colors. I went over to the clear because it picks up the colors anyway. Can you see how it wants to reflect it? It really does a very good job of picking up the colors. And I did sort of the same thing, right? I took and I put one on the eye for the light. I mean, the color differences are subtle. They're very, very subtle. And then I just turn around and I put a couple of them back here up in the trees. And put another one down in here. Okay, and then the last one, I used the blues. And that's her favorite color. I put 3 down. Yeah, now let's put one over here. So, right? So I've got those in there right there. We got our Wink of Stella on here. And then all I'm going to do now is I'm going to take and I'm going to tie some ribbon around here. I think this is the one I just took off the other one. No, I brought this. Let me tell you how much ribbon I used here. Okay. Okay, got them both in good. They're pretty. It's in there, the last chance. So this is 13 inches. So I used 19.5 inches of ribbon to go around this to tie a bow. Okay. Now, if you want a little bit more, we could go 20 inches, right? I used 19.5. So I actually trimmed that off. So it just depends. Well, we are going to most probably use whatever we have. Because I am running out of that. So let's say I used 19.5. So this, I'll just use 20. Just so you can see I trimmed it off. Right? So some days we make bows beautifully. Like we've made bows all of our life. And other days we make bows like we've never made them before. And you know what? That's okay. That's just how it goes. It's sort of like I can do certain things all the time. And I come live here on Facebook or YouTube, and it's like it doesn't flow and go the way I did it originally, right? So there you go. So this is how it's going to look from when she sees the card, right? It's going to be just like this, and it's going to open like that for her, and she can stand it up in her while she's at the hospital. It's actually a hospital type place, I guess, where they do physical therapy. I don't know what they call it. I forget what my cousin called it. It's in a different state. But I know what she's talking about, right? I know what she's talking about. Because when somebody falls and breaks their hip like that and all, they really want them to be able to get around, right? Do the necessary things they need to do. Doesn't mean they have to, like, scrub the kitchen floor or anything. But, you know, they got to be able to get up and get mobile. They can't just be stuck doing nothing. So I get it. I get it. But so my job then, I see, is to get her a card. Right? Because we can make a difference in somebody's life just by sending a card. Putting a smile on their face. There we go. Either or, right? We can do it so many ways. So many ways. I did call to talk to her, but she's hard of hearing. Right? One of those things as we get older. Alright, so definitely she can read a card. Definitely she can read I love you. And she definitely can read the fact that she is a wonder in my eyes. So there you go. In God's eyes. So there you go. That's the finished card. So I hope you enjoyed that, right? It's all about creating, sharing, and giving. It's really the important part is to give. Give that card away, give it to somebody, and bless their lives. So like for me, we already know who this one's going to. And we know I did the original sample piece, so it's going to go to somebody as well too. Don't know who that's going to offhand because I got a lot of Christmas cards to get out, right? Because I hadn't got my Christmas cards out yet. And I haven't finished my tree. So I still have things to do. And so we're going to get it done. But it's all about creating, sharing, and giving. So be sure to give. And if you need to keep one for yourself because it's your favorite or whatever, fine. Make another one and give it away to somebody and touch their life and make a difference. All right? It'll make them smile. It'll just brighten their day. And I want to thank you for supporting us not only here, but also on Instagram and YouTube. So with that, go have an amazing week. Go and see how you can make a difference in someone else's life. Be blessed and see you soon. Bye.